So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
The Mueller report may have found no evidence of collusion with Russia to swing the election, but Donald Trump's legal problems haven't gone away. That's because in downtown Manhattan, federal prosecutors from the Southern District of New York are actively investigating the sitting president in relation to something else entirely. The SDNY, as it's known, has a long track record of going after powerful public figures. And although the office is overseen by the Department of Justice, its lawyers have a reputation for aggressively pursuing their cases, for being fiercely independent, and for following the facts wherever they lead. It all started last year, when evidence led the Southern District to Michael Cohen, Donald Trump's former personal lawyer. Cohen pleaded guilty, among other things, to making illegal hush money payments to two women who said they'd had affairs with Donald Trump. In the process, Cohen flipped on his old boss.
I'm going to jail in part because of my decision to help Mr. Trump hide that payment from the American people before they voted a few days later.
With Cohen as a cooperating witness, the SDNY began investigating Donald Trump, his businesses, and his associates.
The committee understands that you've been in contact with the Southern District of New York. Is that true?
I am in constant contact with the Southern District of New York regarding ongoing investigations.
Preet Bharara, until he was removed from office when Donald Trump came to power, was the U.S. attorney in charge of the SDNY. They wrote in the Michael Cohen sentencing memo that Cohen acted in coordination with and at the direction of Individual One, and we know now that Individual One is the president. In your view, would your former office have written such a thing without the evidence to prove it?
No. I mean, that's the starkest statement of criminal liability in the direction of the president of any other statement that I'm aware of in the entire pendency of the Mueller investigation and the Southern District of New York's various investigations. That's a very powerful statement of culpability. That does not necessarily mean that if Donald Trump were an average citizen, that he would be currently under arrest. There can sometimes be a gap between accepting a statement like that and deciding that you have enough evidence to go to trial and prove beyond a reasonable doubt a president of the United States guilty of that crime. Because remember, Michael Cohen would be the key witness in such a case. Michael Cohen has lots of credibility issues, but it's a powerful statement and it says a lot.
Can we go so far as to say that the SDNY has named the president as an unindicted co-conspirator?
Essentially. I mean, they didn't use that language, but essentially, yes. The SDNY put it in a court document describing the facts as they understood them. They wouldn't do that unless they believed it to be true. You don't do that. You don't adopt statements by other people unless you believe that to be true. So they believe it to be true.
But the SDNY's investigation isn't just limited to the hush money payments. It's also looking at Donald Trump's inauguration. The committee for that event did a lot of its work here in Trump Tower in New York City. And prosecutors are asking questions about what happened to all the money it raised and whether or not foreign entities made illegal donations. This time, they reportedly have a different cooperating witness, Deputy Inauguration Committee Chairman Rick Gates. Trump ally Chris Christie is concerned.
They have two tour guides, is what we used to call them when I was a prosecutor. Michael Cohen to take the prosecutors around the business and personal life of Donald Trump, and Rick Gates to take them around the campaign and the inaugural. You don't want to give prosecutors tour guides. You want to make it as difficult for them as possible to find things out if you're being investigated. The Southern District of New York is the most perilous of the investigations for the president because of the people that they have cooperating with them.
Whatever the SDNY finds or does not find, there is a long-held Department of Justice view that a sitting president cannot be charged with a crime. It's unclear, though, what that might mean once Donald Trump leaves office. Mr. Trump denies all wrongdoing. He is yet to publicly mention the Southern District of New York's investigation. Hannah Thomas-Peter, Sky News in New York.